What is up, everyone? Today we're going to provide you some valuable information as we reach into Season 2. Now, many of you guys are going to be wondering, what are these two new behemoths and what are their skills? So today we're going to break down the skills. We're going to read them, analyze them, and talk about them. And also, if you guys have any opinion on how excited you are for the Season 2 new behemoths, because there's going to be elite raid for it, you're going to get new frames for it, let me know in the comment section. My name is Shinchi42. We are creating regular Call of Dragons content. And by the way, if you guys have been trying to get some information about war pets, we have been making a lot of war pets video, and we have a specific playlist now created for war pets informations only. Okay, so make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'm Shinchi42. Make sure to hit like onto this video as well. And if you guys have Facebook, you guys can follow us also on Facebook. Alright, so we're going to talk about the Frost Giant and as well as the Frost Dragon. So first, we're going to talk about Frost Giant skills. Now, I don't know how in order these screenshots was given to me, but we're just going to read them and try to analyze them here. Frost Giant swings its mighty arms and deals damage to all enemy legions in a forward rectangle. Oh, rectangle this time. Knocking them airborne. This is a physical damage with a damage factor of 500. My cave, my rules. Charge up and damages all legions in the layer once, all right, and inflicts them with airborne. And hide behind an icicle to dodge the skill damage. So I guess there's going to be icicles with this Frost Giant, and you gotta hide in those icicles so you don't get damage from this skill. That seems to be the way how I understand this skill. Primal Strength, immune to all debuff effect and impairments effect. So this giant, this Frost Giant, is going to be immune to all debuff effect. Like when you're using Veline, your archers, they have these defense debuff, so it's not going to work because it's going to be immune. Implacable, destroys the icicles upon reaching or hitting it. So we kind of seen that he's going to be putting out some icicles, and I guess if he marches toward that, it's going to destroy the icicles, just going to break those ice. Furied swings its mighty arms and damages all enemy legions in a forward arc once, damage factor of 300. So we're seeing a AoE that is rectangle, and now we're seeing a forward arc. Now, Shattering Stomp stumps on the ground and damages all enemy legions in a forward arc once. Again, AoE forward arc, so you kind of want to be out of range whenever these skills are going to be activated. Icebreaker stomps on the ground and damages all legions nearby once. So I guess maybe this one is more of a circle AoE. So damage factor of 500. So there's a lot of damage from the Frost Giant, as we can see. Snowball Fight throws a snowball at a random enemy legion. Wow. It's going to prioritize range legion and damages all legions once within the range of a drop point. Oh. So when you're like in this murder ball of all these range legion, this is high. The damage factor is 1000. Whew. Frost Spire. Frost Giant marks 3 legions. 12 seconds later, an icicle appears under all marked target, dealing damage to all legions near it and knocking them airborne. All right, so airborne. So I guess they're just going to fly and just push you back, I guess what the airborne means. So whenever you see this, I'm sure there's going to be like a symbol on top of you. You got to make sure that you move away from everybody because you're going to end up damaging them. It's kind of like the ticking time bomb artifact that we have seen. You want to get away from everybody, not go into where everybody is. Howling Winds roars with rage and inflicts airborne to all enemy legions, knocking them to the edge of the layer, generating 1 frozen area. So we're going to see 1 frozen area, and you know, it's going to knock all the enemies that, you know, I guess knocks all the legions, the marches, knocking them to the edge of the layer. All right, interesting. Realm of Rime generates massive icicles in the layer, stops casting this skill when its remaining HP is below 50%. So you want to get it below 50% so you can stop this skill. So it's going to be dropping that icicles. Remember, we talked about the icicles earlier. You get to go behind it to avoid one of the skills that we've mentioned. Snow Boulder marks an enemy legion outside the frozen area, rolls a snowball to the marked target after a while, dealing damage once to all legions. All right. I don't think we got all the information from the snow boulder there. All right. So that's it. We got the screenshot from this one. Call of the Ancestors. During the second stage, the damage taken is negative 100%. Ooh, on the second stage, it gets tankier. Wow. Negative 100%. Interesting. Frost Mana Stone. Freeze Mana Stone will be produced within the frozen areas when the second stage start. So when this second stage start, this thing is going to be activate. Gather them to gain bonus. Bonus for attacking is 50% for 30 seconds. Kind of compensate for this Call of the Ancestors. Each gathered Mana Stone reduces the Frost Giant's Call of Ancestors effect by 10%. Each legion can only gather one Mana Stone. That's the key information. So when you gather this Mana Stone, it will reduces the ability for this Call of Ancestor by 10%. Wow, that is interesting. For each one, by the way, that's good information. So a healing Mana Stone will also be dropped in here. When the second stage ends, the layer produces healing Mana Stones. When gathered, it heals Legion's lightly wounded units. We're aware of this already, so this is pretty easy. Glacier features 8 minutes after entering the battle. Frost Giant becomes enraged, casting Ground Spike, instantly killing all legions within this layer. So similar to any behemoths in here. So once you've reached that 8-minute mark, you're done. All right, so now let's talk about the Frost Dragon. In the Frost Dragon, it will have a Glacial Surge, converts all devoured frozen areas into ice spears, and spits them on the ground to regenerate new frozen areas. All right, deals continuous damage to enemy legions exposed. Inflicts Stack of Frost Curse. So I'm really curious how this thing is going to be. So there's going to be frozen areas, and it's going to convert into ice spheres and spits them on the ground to regenerate new frozen areas. And then it's continuous damage in here. It's a magic skill damage, 5% of Legion's maximum unit count. Wow. Winter's Reckoning. Soars rapidly and damages all enemy legions in layer once. Each Stack of Frost Curse increases the target's damage taken. All Frost Curse stacks are cleared when the damage is dealt. So when this thing is dealt, the Frost Curse is gone. So looking into this one, you can see that this thing inflicts Frost Curse for the Glacial Surge. So we got to keep an eye on that one. This is a skill damage, 3% of the Legion's maximum unit count. Next one here is Snow Day. Generates Frost Storm in layer and slowly leads it to a random enemy legion every 2 minutes after entering the battle. Wow. Deal damage once to enemy legion exposed. Inflict a Stack of Frost Curse again, and then this one is 5% of the Legion maximum unit count. Icy Prison inflicts a Stack of Frost Curse to the enemy legions that takes its skill damage. All right, so marching speed reduction for the stack effect in here, as you can see, and inflicting Frozen upon reaching 10 stacks. Wow, so you don't want to accumulate 10 stacks. Frozen cannot move for 3 seconds. All Frost Curse stacks are cleared when Frozen ends. Now, Healing Mana Stone. So he's going to drop some Healing Mana Stone. When the second stage ends, keyword second stage, the layer produces a Healing Mana Stone. When gathered, it heals Legion lightly wounded units. Primal Strength, immune to all debuff effect and impairment effect. All right, that's passive buff. Draconic Wings slashes with its mighty wings and damages all enemy legions in a forward arc once. So paying attention into this one. You'll need some tanks to do the hunting, just like with the Flame Dragon in here. Absolute Zero exhales a surging jet of flames. Flames? It's ice! And damages all enemy legions in a forward arc once. Interesting. Why flames? It's ice. It's a Frost Dragon. How can fire be inside a Frost Dragon? Doesn't make sense. It's all dragons and has to have ability to fire, to be able to breathe fire, I guess. It's just interesting. It's a Frost Dragon. I would assume it would be like cold breath or blizzard coming out of the dragon. It's blue inside. I don't know. Leaping Strike. Leap into air and slams the ground and damages all surrounding enemy legions once. Pretty straightforward. Cold Call. Summons ice lizards in the layer, which will mark the target. legion, which will mark the target legion once in a while and cast Frost Burn. So keep an eye on those lizards, just like when we saw in the Flame Dragon. We gotta kill them. Flies high and spits Freeze. Damn, that makes sense. While diving towards to the ground, after a short charge up, deals continuous damage to all the enemy legions nearby. Inflicts a stack of Frost Curse. Alright, this is a magic damage, 10% of the legion's maximum unit count. The freeze spreads outward. Oh, this is going to spread outward. And damages all enemy legions once within the skill effect upon the spread ends. Interesting. 35% of legion's maximum unit count. Creeping Cold devours all frozen areas within the layer and draws them to its position, dealing continuous damage to all enemy legions exposed. Inflicts a stack of Curse. All right. So I think this is some very, very good information in here. Now, I know if you're watching, the video in here and you're like, okay, you kind of read through it. I kind of try to explain as much as I can. At the end of the day, it's really, really still difficult until we actually see the behemoths in action. But for now, at least we have a, good understanding on what to expect with the skills of these behemoths that we're going to see. Some of them pretty straightforward. But some of them, we got to see the animation and kind of see how things are going to be portrayed within the game. So anyway, thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this content and you find this at least helpful. With that being said, thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you guys again next time.